What's up, buddy, man? It's the Bronco at the Fro coming at you with another reaction video. We got us a hypothetical. What if a nuclear weapon hits New York, United States tomorrow? Now, with me in Texas, I used to always look this up on what would happen if somewhere get nuked, if somebody get nuked. You know, during them Kim Jong-un times when he was threatening to nuke our ass every day. I was looking up the most likely places to get nuked, how far I am from that place to see if I'm safe. If New York get nuked, I'm pretty sure I'm good right here in Dallas. Not in terms of the fallout. Of course, fallout-wise, economic, like the economics of the United States is going to be it's going to be all types of trickle-downs that's going to affect the whole United States because, you know, that's where Wall Street and all that and all these big companies and stock market and all that is in New York. I wonder, will Texas be affected by the fallout, though? Nuclear fallout in New York, I wonder how far will that expand. We'll see. Let's see what go down.
Right now, it's still kind of chilly out there. We already have a very pretty sunrise.
If they knew New York, boy, we might as well surrender. That would be crazy. You know how many people live there? It's like the number one most populous state in the United States. It's gonna be like Fallout for real. Shady van. Oh. Planning a nuke in a van is crazy.
If we imagine a terrifying scenario where a nuclear weapon was to hit a major US city like New York, the consequences would be devastating.
Oh yeah.
Not just for New York, but for the whole world.
Oh yeah, cause we for sure firing back. If you nuke New York, you realize the world is over, right? Because if you nuke such a big city like that, we finna nuke y'all big city. Whoever the hell flew it, whether it be Russia or if y'all nuke New York, nigga, we nuking Moscow. You feel me? Come on now.
Today, we'll explore the domino effects of what could happen if this nightmare became a reality tomorrow.
Why they look like Derek Lewis?
From the immediate impact to the long-term effects, we'll take a look at the potential devastation and how it would change our world forever.
Yeah.
What would happen if a bomb like Little Boy, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, was detonated in New York City?
And it said like Little Boy. Do you realize it's like bombs that are 10 times more powerful than Little Boy today? It's a reason why it has Little Boy name, because of the capabilities and the scale of the bombs we got. I don't even want to get into it.
Little Boy had an explosive yield of approximately 15 kilotons of TNT.
Boom.
When it was dropped on Hiroshima, it resulted in catastrophic destruction and loss of life. If a similar bomb were to hit Manhattan, the impact would be similarly devastating, but on a much larger scale.
I was just gonna say, you mean
density and population.
Yeah.
The explosion would create an intense fireball, vaporizing everything within a radius of about 200 meters or 650 feet.
How many
skyscrapers,
miles? Come on, buddy, you talking about some... okay, whatever.
Buildings and people within this zone would be instantly incinerated. The blast wave would then radiate outwards, causing severe damage to structures up to 340 meters or over 1,000 feet away, shattering windows and collapsing buildings. Heavily built concrete buildings are severely damaged.
That's it? Hold on. I thought nukes was bigger than that. I mean, that is a wide radius, but I thought if you nuke, like I say, I'm thinking of modern day nukes. Modern day nukes, I feel like if you nuke right here, the fireball radius itself go be like
to structures up to
go be like this, and then the outside is gonna be like that.
340 meters or over 1,000 feet away, shattering windows and collapsing buildings. Heavily built concrete buildings are severely damaged or demolished. Fatalities approach 100%. The immediate death toll would certainly be in the tens of thousands, if not more.
100%.
Beyond the immediate blast zone, the heat and firestorm would cause widespread fires, engulfing large parts of the city. The intense heat would cause third-degree burns to people within 11 square kilometers or 4.4 square miles from ground zero. Third-degree burns extend throughout the layers of skin and are often painless because they destroy the pain nerves.
Hey, so they, at least the people who would have died like in the middle of the fireball radius won't feel nothing. You literally immediately just disintegrate.
They can cause severe scarring or disablement and can require amputation. The fallout, radioactive debris lifted into the atmosphere by the explosion, would spread out over a much larger area.
Now that's the trouble, the
carried
fallout.
by wind patterns. This radioactive fallout would contaminate the environment, making it hazardous for survivors and first responders.
It's gonna be snowing and shit.
Emergency services would be overwhelmed, and the scale of destruction would make rescue efforts nearly impossible. Hospitals would be flooded, and the city's infrastructure would be shattered. The psychological impact on survivors would be enormous, and the city would face a long, difficult path to recovery.
Bro,
if recovery were even possible.
I was just finna say, bro, I wouldn't even want to survive no damn nuke. I immediately be me the one who get disintegrated, because I'm not finna deal with no damn fallout. I'm not finna live no damn fallout game in real life. That nuclear fallout is something serious, man. It's gonna be cold as hell. All the smoke gonna block out the sun. It already snows like crazy in New York. It's gonna be that times 10, man. It's gonna be like a damn Arctic zone down there.
However, such a scenario with a little boy atomic bomb detonating in New York is extremely unlikely. Only if terrorists could somehow get their hands on such a weapon could it happen, but the likelihood of that is very low. If a nuclear weapon were to detonate over New York City, it would most likely come from a nuclear-armed state.
Yes.
Plunging the world into a possible nuclear world war.
Now, this is the nuke that I'm talking about. So if it's just a nuke like in a van, so the nukes that are dropped from above are more powerful than ones like on the ground? Because like I say, I swear North Korea got some way more powerful nukes than that.
While New York City is a symbolic and economic hub, it lacks significant military targets, making it less likely to be a primary target in a nuclear conflict. Washington, D.C., with its concentration of political and military leadership, or U.S. nuclear silos, aimed at crippling the nation's nuclear arsenal, are more probable targets. Striking these locations would aim to dismantle the U.S. command structure and reduce its retaliatory capabilities. However, there is an incentive to deliberately target densely populated areas like New York to maximize civilian casualties and cause widespread panic and destabilization.
That's so evil, bro. And I can't even sit here and say that's so evil like we ain't goddamn do that. Not 40 years ago. How many ever long years ago in 1940s was, we really did that. We really dropped the damn bomb on some civilians, bro. That, hey.
A strategy known as counter-value targeting. This approach aims to break the enemy's will to fight by inflicting massive civilian and infrastructural losses. The US and Russia possess the world's largest nuclear arsenals, remnants of the Cold War's arms race. Today, they continue to maintain and develop these formidable stockpiles, with Russia holding approximately 5,997 nuclear warheads.
What do you need? How many we got?
And the US close behind, with 5,550.
They got more nukes, but it don't even matter. 5,000 nukes? Doesn't it take like way less than that to end the fucking world? Why do you need 6,000 nukes?
These numbers alone are staggering, but the modern capabilities of these weapons make the situation even more alarming. Russia's arsenal includes the infamous Satan missile, known officially as the R-36. It has been a cornerstone of Russia's nuclear deterrent. However, it is the newer RS-28 Sarmat that truly represents the terrifying potential of modern nuclear technology. The RS-28 Sarmat, also known as the Satan II.
Satan II? They got a number 2. Bro, they naming these missiles like they fucking shoe releases. The RS-28, we got the RS-28 Sarmat, aka the Satan II.
Carry multiple warheads and has the capacity to evade missile defenses, making it a potent tool of destruction. It can deliver up to 15 warheads anywhere in the world,
15?
Ensuring that no target is beyond its reach. This means that a single missile can deliver 15 separate nuclear warheads to different targets.
What the fuck? I ain't never heard of this. I thought it was just you fire one nuke and then we can shoot it down without nuclear defense, but they already have worked their way to finding out counters to the anti-nuclear defense. Well, as y'all know, the military technology has to be the most advanced technology in the world. All the advanced technology is like top secret military. That's where like Area 51 it is and stuff. Apparently, that's like a little base. If it's not aliens, just a base to where they work on the top secret technology. But they have like a Homer that holds 15 nuclear warheads in them holes, and they can fire 15 different ones at one time, bro. That is why Oppenheimer, this your fault.
This capability is known as multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, making the Satan II missile a highly destructive and versatile weapon designed to overwhelm defenses and deliver catastrophic damage to multiple targets. Based on various reports and analyses by defense experts, the Satan II missile has a total payload capacity that can unleash a maximum energy anywhere from 15 to 50 megatons of TNT. Now, let's imagine the terrifying scenario on the lower end. A single Satan II missile is launched towards New York City, with each of its 15 warheads having a yield of 1 megaton of TNT. The Satan II missile can only be launched from land-based silos. If launched from the Uzhur missile base in southern Siberia, it would travel over 9,250 kilometers, or over 5,750 miles
there we go,
to reach
miles.
New York City.
That's how we talk, buddy.
With a top speed of Mach 20, and taking into account the different phases of flight, it would reach New York in about 30 to 35 minutes.
That's it?
Even though it is extremely unlikely that a single missile would be used in a nuclear war scenario, for educational purposes, we will imagine that a Satan II missile is launched and has now reached New York City to understand the raw power of such weapons. In our earlier example, we imagined a little boy atomic bomb detonating over New York City
that ain't nothing.
with an energy of 15 kilotons of TNT. Now consider the Satan II missile, which has 1,000 times that power at 15 megatons of TNT.
Kiloton versus megaton.
If we thought it would be difficult for New York to recover from a little boy atomic bomb, there is no question that the RS-28 missile would utterly destroy the city.
Remember when I said that a modern day nuke, or at least I thought the nuke on the picture was going to be something like this, like the fireball literally engulfs the whole area. This is what it's showing.
The largest US thermonuclear weapon ever detonated, Castle Bravo, had a 15 megaton energy release, providing data and simulations that help us understand the potential effects of a nuclear strike of this magnitude. If a Satan II missile, with its 15 megaton yield, were to detonate over New York City, the destruction would be catastrophic.
It's done. New York done.
The explosion would create a fireball with a radius of over 4 kilometers or 2.6 miles.
There you go. Fireball radius.
Vaporizing everything within an area of over 50 square kilometers or 19 square miles.
It's still going.
The extreme heat.
It's even bigger than I thought.
Or 19 square
Remember,
miles.
because I was like, it started right here. I was like, it'll be like this. Boy, it's even bigger.
The extreme heat would produce temperatures higher than the surface of the sun, incinerating buildings, vehicles, and people in an instant. Beyond the immediate fireball, the thermal radiation would cause third-degree burns up to 34 kilometers or 21 miles away. This would encompass most of the New York metropolitan area, causing severe burns and igniting widespread fires that would be impossible to control. While the biggest payload capability of a US missile is found in the Trident II submarine-launched ballistic missile, or SLBM, the Trident II can carry multiple independent...
Wow. That boy got a minigun of nukes, bro. Would you ever need... Well, of course you need it now since Russia got something like that Satan II. We have a damn minigun of nukes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 warheads in that hole.
Targetable re-entry vehicles, each with a nuclear warhead. Typically, it can be equipped with up to 8 warheads, each with a yield of around 475 kilotons, although it can theoretically carry up to 14 warheads, depending on the configuration and the mission requirements. This makes the Trident II one of the most powerful and flexible delivery systems in the U.S. nuclear arsenal.
Submarine nuclear launch.
If the U.S. were to launch a Trident II missile against Moscow, the most plausible launch sites would be from submarines in the Black Sea or the Baltic Sea. While the Black Sea is an option, the Baltic Sea, often referred to as Lake NATO, is more likely due to its proximity to Moscow.
Lake NATO crazy.
The distance from the Baltic Sea to Moscow is just over 700 kilometers.
Oh, it is right next door. Damn, yeah, Russia, y'all fucked, bro. Because of NATO and all of our allies, y'all so close together, man, we already next door to y'all. You got to send that missile. It's going to take about 35 minutes to get here. We got all types of defenses that we can get ready to prepare, evacuate. Well, we ain't getting pretty far. You seen how big that damn blast was, but... Moscow, but the only downside if we nuke Moscow, bro, that shit go affect the neighboring countries, some of the neighboring countries, or NATO countries.
Considering the missile's top speed of Mach 24, approximately 29,000 kilometers per hour, or 18,000 miles per hour, and accounting for the various flight phases, it would likely reach Moscow in just over 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Upon detonation, the missile's multiple warheads, each with a yield of up to 475 kilotons, would create immense destruction. The initial blast would generate a fireball with temperatures hotter than the sun, vaporizing everything within a radius of several kilometers. The shockwave would flatten buildings and infrastructure over a wide
How the hell can we as humans just imagine starting from caveman, looking up at the sun and realizing like in the future we're gonna be able to create something hotter than fucking that?
While the intense heat would ignite fires, causing further damage. The electromagnetic pulse, or EMP, generated by the explosion would disable electronic devices and communications over a vast area, compounding the chaos. The combined effects of the blast, heat, radiation, and EMP would result in catastrophic loss of life and infrastructure, effectively crippling Moscow and severely impacting Russia's ability to function as a nation.
So you know what that means? Do not shoot fucking nukes. Russia, don't shoot nothing in New York. United States, don't shoot nothing in Moscow. Avoid all of this. Duke it out like men. Duke it out like they used to do back in the day, man.
During the Cold War and beyond, there have been discussions and plans involving the use of nuclear weapons to create catastrophic events like tsunamis.
What?
One such Soviet project, codenamed Lavina, meaning avalanche.
We causing natural disaster attacks now. We out here gotta nuke the sea. Bro, who the fuck thought of that? We finna nuke the sea so they can have a tsunami and then destroy the damn population. You can't necessarily blame us. It was Mother Nature who did it. Boy, that is crazy.
Aim to create an artificial tsunami using a massive explosion, intended to cause significant casualties and damage to coastal cities. This project was conceived as an alternative to traditional nuclear weapons, leveraging the destructive power of a massive wave to wipe out enemy coastal cities.
Too, though.
There has been speculation and discussion about the possibility of using a nuclear weapon to also trigger an eruption of the Yellowstone supervolcano. However, scientific consensus indicates that this scenario is highly unlikely. The energy required to trigger an eruption far exceeds what a nuclear detonation could provide.
Jeez, that's how strong volcanic eruptions are? And like a super volcano like that, even a nuke can't trigger it?
Therefore, while the idea is theoretically dramatic, it lacks practical feasibility. What didn't lack practicality was the Tsar Bomber. It was the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated, with a yield of 50 megatons of TNT. This Soviet bomb was tested on October 30th, 1961, over the Novaya Zemlya archipelago in the Arctic Ocean.
In the 60s.
The blast could be seen from 1,000 kilometers away, as far as Norway. The shockwave from the explosion circled the Earth 3 times, and windows were shattered up to 900 kilometers from the blast site.
He said the shockwave circled the Earth 3
times. Bomber detonating over New York City. The fireball alone would incinerate everything within over a 5-kilometer or over 3-mile radius, vaporizing buildings and infrastructure instantly. Heavy blast damage would spread over a radius of 9 kilometers, covering over 250 square kilometers, or about 100 square miles, resulting in the total destruction of most buildings and severe injuries to anyone in this zone. Moderate blast damage would extend even further, up to 20 kilometers, covering a staggering 1,350 square kilometers, or over 500 square miles. In this area, most residential buildings would collapse from overpressure, causing universal injuries and widespread fatalities. The chances of fires starting in commercial and residential buildings would be extremely high, and these fires would spread rapidly due to the extensive damage. The optimal height of burst to maximize these effects would be 11.5 kilometers, or over 7 miles, ensuring the greatest possible area of devastation. Thermal radiation from the explosion would cause third-degree burns up to 60 kilometers, or 37 miles away. The intense heat would ignite fires over this.
So this I don't know my northeastern geography that good, but that's looking like it's, you know, them New York states, all them states up there, them hoes is tiny and small, so it's looking like it's gonna teeter into like, what is that, Maine? Is Maine above New York?
The intense heat would ignite fires over this vast area, adding to the overall destruction. The Tsar bomber was never designed as a practical weapon, but rather to demonstrate the sheer power that could be unleashed. Some experts believe that the higher end of the yield range for the Satan II missile reaches 50 megatons, exactly the yield of the Tsar bomber, making this scenario even more terrifying. Since the Tsar bomber could be seen from as far as Norway, a nuclear weapon with a 50 megaton energy detonation over New York City would be visible all the way to Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh! Look at all these states to where that hoe would be visible from. Jesus! Kentucky! I'm finna talk about some Indianapolis like this, the damn city. Ohio, West Virginia, North Carolina.
Shatter windows across Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan.
What? Not even visible, but the windows will be shattered.
And up north, reaching Quebec, Canada.
Even
This is the power of
Canada.
just a single nuclear weapon with a 50 megaton explosion. Witnessing such a terrifying scenario over New York City would certainly mean the end of civilization as we know it,
definitely.
as the retaliation response would trigger a global nuclear war, leading to unimaginable destruction and loss of life.
So, what do we learn at the end of this video? Leave them goddamn nukes alone. Shit, we need to just go back to the days. Pick them damn swords and shields up and fight like real niggas, bro. Fuck the guns. Fuck all that. Hey, combat, hand-to-hand combat. Let's go ahead and get it. Because like I say, if one country, fires a nuke even on accident, that's the end of the whole world right there, bro. I'm out.